Welcome to the Sahara Desert. We are on the fringes of the sand dunes in Morocco. And we are taking a camel into the middle of the desert to a remote tent where we're going to be staying the night. The cost? Less than $200. And this is one of the best ways to experience the Sahara Desert, one of the most isolated places on earth. John and I have been in Morocco for almost a week now. And as part of this series, we've explored the streets of Casablanca, the world-famous Medina in Marrakesh, and remote clay villages where Hollywood movies are filmed. It is like going back in time. But the one place that we've been dying to see, explore, and tick off our bucket list is way out here in the Sahara Desert. So we're going to break down the experience and the costs along the way. Literally in the middle of nowhere on a highway.
20k from the nearest town.
20k from the nearest town. We're in the top corner of Africa. We're just a stone's throw from Europe, and we are approaching the Sahara Desert. It's a day's drive from Marrakesh.
Miles from anywhere. Sahara, these kids just cruising along.
And out here, we are pretty isolated. Oh my god, look at this view.
At the roundabout, make a U-turn.
The sand dunes are enormous.
They're huge. I had no idea.
To get out here, we've driven several hours in our hire car to the far eastern corner of the country, to Merzouga. It's a small town known as the gateway to the Erg Chebbi sand dunes, where we're mounting camels. So we have just arrived to the area where we're catching the camels. And it's going to take us around an hour or an hour and 20 to get there, but halfway we're going to stop for sunset. So this is the spot. Oh my gosh, here we go. What do we do with the water? You hold on to it? I don't want this in my hands. We'll be sitting around 7 feet off the ground. Maybe there's somewhere I can stuff it. Oh, very good. Okay. Merzouga is one of the most famous places for experiencing the Sahara Desert. The dunes rise up to 500 feet tall, and there's this endless sea of sand as far as the eye can see. But one thing that people talk about is the sunrise, and I'm just hoping that we make it out there in one piece.
He's looking back at me.
Is he?
Yeah, he's like, you're a heavy bastard. I think he's plotting to kick me off.
Okay, here we go. All right, we're going. Oh. So we've started the journey. And my hands are so clammy that it's so hard to hold on. Putting the selfie stick out wasn't bad. We're a long way up. This is not a good idea. John, how are you?
Good.
All the way at the back.
Got about 20 metres. Half to go.
So let me explain where we're staying and where we're going. The Sahara is made up of dozens of regions, and the one we're riding to is Erg Chebbi, where the dunes are naturally formed. The only parts that are man-made are the camps. And you can see them dotted in the sand. They're designed to reflect the lifestyle of Berber nomads. So they're free people who are constantly moving, and these locals have lived in this desert region for centuries.
I just love how quiet it is. It's like the world's largest soundproof room.
It's so peaceful and the weather is just perfect. I feel like every muscle is gonna hurt tomorrow. How are you?
Kristina.
Oh, sorry. Had to ask. So how much did this part of the journey cost us? Cost us 60 euros to get out by the camel, and we're heading back by jeep tomorrow. As for booking the campsite, that took us hours, and here's why. It was a real nightmare trying to find this place. I think we spent like at least 2 or 3, maybe 4 hours trying to...
And not all of the camps are in the sand dunes, but they don't make it clear. Some of them are around the edge, or like just in the dirt and gravel.
Middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere, near the sand dunes.
Yeah.
Like over here, near the main town, are literally like just off the main street, and like bang out the back. There you are, $650 a night. Thanks for coming.
Some of them have transfers included out to the camp, others don't.
But we really wanted like an immersive experience when we were in
the sand
in the
dunes.
thick of it,
Yeah.
like within the sand dunes. So we spent so long trying to find a place. So the suspense is killing us. What did we even book?
Another hour to go.
I assume we're getting close to the stopover, but we've gotten so deep now that when you're looking around 360-degree views, all you can see is the desert sand. Ooh, now we've got some elevation. The word Sahara takes its name from the Arabic word for desert.
صحراء.
It's pretty remarkable. How are they gonna manage up on the hills, John?
You got big feet. Have a look at how big the feet are.
You know, it's funny because when you're younger, you go on like a little camel ride at your local show. And
Oh, you know what you've got to pull up?
what's that?
The photo of you in Hong Kong on a camel, remember?
I was 17, a little chubby back then.
And they just to take a photo, remember?
I was 17 years old here, and this was actually John and my first ever overseas trip together. So we had just finished school and we decided to spend a month traveling to Hong Kong and China and Thailand. But if we fast forward 18 remarkable years. Oh,
He's wiping his nose on yours ass.
we're now in our mid-30s. We have our careers, we've learnt to sail together, and we're aiming to hit 200,000 subscribers here on YouTube. So it would mean the world if you subscribed. To say thank you, I've added some links to tours and experiences from Morocco below in the description. Use my code Kristina for 10% off all your travel bookings. I'm also giving a copy of my curated Google Maps from this trip with all our pins to new and existing patrons. Every dollar pledged on Patreon helps fund this channel. I thought we were halfway, but it just keeps going.
Sun setting. People up here watching the sunset. On the ATV tour.
So far away that you can't even see him. There's a person like right there.
Oh look, there's someone sitting on the rooftop of that Jeep. Look at that guy sitting on the roof.
Oh, that looks great. With the sun setting, our caravan stopped, but getting down off this camel was gonna be hard to capture. Oh, I wouldn't be able to do that. I'll fall off.
Just with one hand like this.
No, I'm putting this away.
Feels like a long way down.
Yeah, good idea. Okay.
It's like a rodeo ball. Oh! You kind of got to lean back a little bit.
Good luck, John. Hey, do you want me to take something of
No,
yours?
I'm good, I think. He's like, this guy's too fat. It's gonna hurt.
Swaggy. That was swaggy. So if you're not afraid of heights, would highly recommend the camel ride out. And the view at sunset with the open sky, this vast horizon. There it goes. The sun just set. The calmness and the changing shadows. The camels are taking a break. Another day, almost over. This first part of our journey was magic. My gosh, I could cry.
Whoa. How impressive is this? Just coming out the back of the dunes now.
We're just making our way to our camp, which is over here. I literally could cry right now. By the end of the camel experience, I finally felt comfortable. It's been an hour, but I can manage with no hands. Are you proud?
Well done.
Are you proud?
Very proud.
Look at this. Oh, look. We made it in one piece to our camp, which we're about to see for the very first time. Welcome to the camp.
Welcome.
Thanks
How
for
was your
having me.
trip with the camels?
So
Good,
good.
nice. You enjoyed it?
Oh, we had a great time.
Cool. Welcome.
Thank you.
So you come here to have some hospitality tea. Yeah, after we go to have your tent, okay?
Perfect. Just arrived at the camp and they have some beautiful pleasantries. It's thirsty work being on a camel, so I'm parched.
It's without sugar. If you want to go.
Okay, so we're inside our tent.
Look at this, running water in the middle of the desert.
Wow.
I gotta wash the camel smell off my hands. I was giving him a good scratch behind the ears. Yeah, let's just say they don't get showered very often.
No, you go first. Are you about to take a wee like the camels? We've just stopped and all our camels are just weeing in unison. Are we gonna go in unison? Still weeing. John's in the bathroom. Oh, This is where we're going to be sleeping for the night. We have the toilet to the left, the basin in the center, and the shower to the right. The total cost came to $190. That's including the hour camel ride here and dinner and breakfast. So we're just settling in and then we're going to go head out to have some dinner.
So this is some vegetable tagine with cheese.
Okay.
Can you smell that?
Yeah. You can get different camps. Some are much larger than others. This is more of a boutique one. I think there are 9 different tents, 9 rooms, and we're all about to head into this like dining area where there are tables for each of the groups. So I think John and I will be sitting at a table of 2 for both of us, so it's quite intimate. Now, I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are rugs laid everywhere around our camp. And this has been a real common theme in all our accommodation and hotels in Morocco. You see, rugs are a significant part of the cultural tradition here. I thought I'd mention it because you can buy them in local souks everywhere. This was our experience with a local seller.
We have this strap, you work only with wool, red. And we have this strap, you work with wool and silk.
Wow, so the gentleman's just explaining that men make these sorts of styles which are a little bit more simple and quicker to make, so this might take a couple of days. Whereas the women make more complicated styles, and the different tribes have different materials. So one might be like a silk with a wool blend. These complicated designs take a lot more time.
Are you journalist?
I was,
Are you
yeah.
journalist?
Meanwhile, back at our tent,
I think
we had a little problem.
I think we're locked in. Someone's locked us in. Hello. Hello. Could you help us, please? I think the door's locked. Thanks, Adam.
How did we get locked in there? After being freed, we celebrated by a campfire. To the sound of beating drums, we snuck off to take some photos of the night sky, had a bit of a dance, and then we fell asleep with our earplugs in firmly. And our alarm set for the early morning because there was no way we were going to miss the sunrise. Our cameras were charged and the camels, well, they were on the loose. We've just gotten up really early for the sunrise. And we're just going to be heading up the dune, the one that's right in front of us.
The camels have escaped their camp and they're eating the palm fronds.
No, he's tied up.
I know, but their camp is over the other side of the dune.
Oh my gosh, how did they get here? It seems overnight one of their legs are tied so they don't wander off. But these guys were a bit peckish.
Naughty camels. They're eating the decorations for the camp. Alright, so we're going to go up that sand dune if we can before sunrise. Let's go.
So there was hardly a soul in sight, and I thought just everyone in this camp was going to be awake for this special moment.
Sun's coming up.
But no, there was just this vast open desert in front of us, and it felt like it was just for us, and we had the whole place to ourselves. I had the best sleep last night in our little tent. The morning air was pretty crisp. The sand was so cold under my feet. But as the sun rose, wow, here it comes.
Just fix your gaze on something on the horizon. You can actually feel the light coming up.
Wow, what a spot. Oh. And as the light hit our skin, it is so true. It was like someone was turning up the heat. Perhaps this feeling was just because we're so remote, something that we experienced pretty regularly back when we lived on our boat. But this desert experience for $200 for the night, for me, was absolutely the best way to embrace the Sahara Desert. Even if we were peppered amongst the theme park of neighbouring camps, where travellers from all parts of the world, just like us, have come here for a bit of a glimpse of Africa's shifting sand dunes that ended up in our shoes and everywhere, every crevasse you can think of. But the journey isn't over. The ride back had us being thrown around as we scaled the dunes back to our hire car in town. I'm so glad we left with the professionals.
Yeah, this is where I was going to run this morning.
Oh, really?
Oh, I'm running on the sand. It's going to be horrible.
Yeah, that would be really hard. I kid you not, this was John yesterday.
Gotta get the runs in when you can. About to head out into the desert on a camel.
Pretty cool place to train. Now, all our experiences in Morocco haven't gone quite to plan. You may have seen in our previous 2 episodes, I've shared some shots of us being pulled over by the local cops. Is English okay? So what happened?
Apparently I overtook on a solid line.
We actually had some eye-opening and confronting experiences. We were fined, threatened, and I have to say as a female, I felt pretty uncomfortable in places, especially like Fez, where tourists are targeted by people trying to give you wrong directions.
Men may mislead tourists about directions or claim that a certain route or site is closed as part of a strategy to lead them elsewhere.
Now, our car also broke down, even though we hired it from a major global car rental company. We have a problem with the car. And there was just plenty of stories like this for us to share. So let me know in the comments below if you think this warrants a separate episode, and I'll sit down and I'll spill the tea.
You overtake the car.
I can't see the registration.
But if you plan to visit before then, I'd recommend going with a tour instead of hiring a car yourself. Did she just give you a discount because you're from Australia?
No, she gave me a discount because she didn't give me a receipt.
Shut up.
Yeah, she's like, usually she walked me around the back of the car and she was speaking to the other guy and she was like all sheepish and she's like, come around the back of the car.
You won't believe what happened next. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this episode in the comments below, and can't wait for you to join us in Japan next week. And we are so excited to be taking you to one of my favorite cities on the planet, Tokyo. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss this upcoming episode.